Memorial has been set up. People have been leaving messages and tokens of mourning. A vigil is now being planned to honor the victims. It will be held near London Bridge and Borough Market, the two sites of the attack.
And tonight we have the latest numbers on this deadly terror attack. We know at least 7 people are dead, dozens more injured, many with life-threatening injuries. We know the 3 attackers were killed by police officers who say they fired, quote, an unprecedented number of rounds. And earlier today, British police arresting a dozen people after carrying out raids in neighborhoods near the attack. And tonight the search continues. Police still looking for anyone linked to this terror attack.
We have team coverage on tonight's big story. We start in London, where Ariel Reshef has the latest.
Michael and Amy, the terror started on the London Bridge not far from where I'm standing. It ended at the Borough Market 8 minutes later, 8 officers firing 50 rounds, killing 3 suspects. A night of chaos and panic, making way for a morning of arrests and resolve.
This is our city. We will never let these cowards win, and we will never be cowed by terrorism.
A summer Saturday night shattered by terror. The assault began when a white van plowed into pedestrians on the London Bridge. Holly Jones saw it happen and says it was clear the driver knew what he was doing.
You know, he didn't look scared, he just looked focused, and I'd almost like to say the word demented. The screams, it was like a shrill. I've never heard kind of like a fear like it.
3 suspects jumped out of the van and ran into the nearby Borough Market, armed with long knives, slashing and stabbing people at random.
I just saw suddenly loads of people run away from the market, and there was people lying on the ground.
Within 8 minutes, armed police confronted the attackers, shooting and killing them. All 3 were wearing what appeared to be suicide belts, but the bombs were fake. Police say they are making progress identifying the men.
Work is ongoing to understand more about them, about their connections, and about whether they were assisted or supported by anyone else.
The investigation leading them to a London neighborhood. Residents startled by the raids.
Before opening the door, I heard the first loud bang. I saw a couple guys running around and armed police around.
So far, at least a dozen arrests. The bridge remains on lockdown. Evidence teams spending hours combing the rented van for evidence. This is the 3rd terror attack in the UK since March. The White House says President Trump has spoken to Prime Minister Theresa May.
Terrorism breeds terrorism. There is, to be frank, far too much tolerance of extremism in our country.
Police say there were no other suspects at the scene last night, but they continue their search for anyone tied to last night's deadly attacks. In London, Ariel Reshef, Local 10 News.
And 36 people remain in the hospital, 21 of those in critical condition. The UK's terror threat remains at its 2nd highest level.
And we continue our team coverage. We're going to move now to MIA. That's where Local 10 News reporter Leanne Morejon has been getting reaction from people who just arrived here in South Florida from the UK. Leanne?
And Michael, we caught up with these passengers just moments after they got off of their British Airways flights here in the arrivals area at Miami International Airport. They say that ever since this attack, and even before then, after the Manchester attack, they say they had seen an increased police presence, armed police in the streets, even at London's Heathrow Airport, where they first boarded their flights today.
Well, obviously we're not used to seeing so many weapons on our streets. But we're seeing a lot more of that at the airport to come out here. A lot of armed police.
People are solemn, obviously, because it's happened again. But we're all standing by each other. They won't beat us. They won't beat us.
And a feeling of resolve among the folks that we spoke to, who say, of course, this makes them nervous. This is not something anybody wants to go through, and their hearts are with the victims, but they are determined to move forward. Reporting live at Miami International Airport, Leanne Morejon, Local 10 News.